Welcome to the Welcome to the Sir Ism Show.
We're awaiting any comments. We did see some of the family members for Sean Diddy Combs, the music mogul, leaving a short while ago. All right, let's continue on here on Live Now from Fox and bring into the conversation Fox 5 reporter Michelle Ross on the ground outside of the courthouse. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about what happened inside that courtroom today?
Well, the latest witness to take the stand today is a man named Daniel Phillips, and he was a male strip show manager. He would manage male strippers who would perform for things like bachelorette parties. But he's rather while leaving a black van. This includes his children, his sons, and also his twin daughters. His family has heard graphic allegations of the alleged sexual encounters, and his daughters walked out during that testimony. Phillips, the second witness of the day, said he was told by his boss that he was going to perform at a bachelorette party at the Gramercy Park Hotel. But when he arrived, he saw Cassie in red lingerie and a red wig. He testified, she said, that they would rub baby oil on each other and would see where things would go from there while her husband was there. Combs was allegedly in a corner in a white robe concealing his face with a bandana, but Phillips said he recognized Diddy's voice. He was paid a few $1,000s when he left. Phillips said this went on more times, meeting up at hotels or their homes, and Diddy would direct them to court this morning.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant. We're getting started.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that.
Now, Phillips also testified that he witnessed Combs assault Cassie in their home and that he feared for his own life, but eventually befriended Cassie. Now, the person to testify before him was the hotel security guard who responded to the incident caught on surveillance video in that Los Angeles hotel back in 2016 when Diddy was caught on video assaulting Cassie. And he testified that Diddy threw a sack of money at him in their hotel room afterwards to keep quiet. That testimony resumes tomorrow with Daniel Phillips. And after that, Cassie Ventura is expected to take the stand. She is the prosecution's star witness. We're live outside the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Press that's behind me here, but already a line has formed for press and the public to get into the courtroom tomorrow. So I would say there are about maybe 3 dozen people. They have lawn chairs sitting out ready to get in and stay here overnight.
Oh, wow. That is impressive. Obviously, something we'll continue to file. This 8-week-long trial expected to go day one wrapping up. Michelle Ross, I appreciate your time here on Live Now.
P. Diddy, the diddler, might just got himself caught up. But no one speaks about Cassie in this whole situation. What did she do? She just gets to walk away clean, like nothing ever happened. Cassie was complicit in all of this. Cassie Ventura. You went out with his best friend. You went out with the trainer. You did all kind of different acts. And you act like you're pure and complicit in this whole thing. You was with it, Cassie. Tried to sue for $30 million. Ended up with 7. Is this the new thing? When you don't get your way, you rob the man, you sue the man. Busby, the ambulance chasers. It's a cold game out here. This is going to be very interesting for the next 8 weeks. We got P. Diddy, top of the game, once upon a time. Suge Knight was on top of the game once upon a time. They taking out all our entertainers. This is what we have to look forward to. We will continue the trial of P. Diddy. Clear News.
Who has been inside of that federal courtroom for much of the day today. Kelly, I know we don't have our cameras there, but we have you, your eyes and ears. Tell me what you can about those opening statements from the prosecution today. Well, hi there, Julia. Yes, no cameras inside the courtroom because this, of course, is federal court. The opening statements by the government and defense counsel just wrapped up. So we just came outside of this courthouse. We're going to be back in 1 hour. As you can imagine, it is quite a scene here in New York. Hundreds of people around, people yelling, showing their support for Sean Diddy Combs. Some people, of course, showing their dislike for some of the things that he has been charged with in this case. So the prosecution started. We do have a full screen of some of the things that the government said in its opening statement. You can see that it says the prosecution's opening statement to the public. He was Puff Diddy, or Diddy, a cultural icon, a businessman, larger than life. But there was another side to him, a side that ran a criminal enterprise. You're going to hear about 20 years of the defendant's crime. So the government was very deliberate, very straightforward as it went through one person after another, talking about Cassie and another witness by the name of Jane, and then also another woman by the name of Mia, who worked for him as Sean Diddy Combs' personal assistant for a number of years. So the government went through each one of these. Counsel had to say in its opening. I'm going to tell it to you, actually. We don't have a soundbite, excuse me, but we're going to put up a full screen of what the defense counsel had to say, but we don't have that full screen. But let me just tell you a little bit about it, and excuse me, because as you can imagine, there's lots of people that are around. A lot of people are standing in front of us right now that are strong supporters of Sean Diddy Combs. So when I talk about what the defense talked about and said in its opening, in a way, the way that they were delivering this opening, it was so interesting at first because what they did is they had Sean Combs stand up. Defense counsel turned around and said, "This is Sean Combs." He stood up. He is wearing a light-colored sweater, a shirt underneath, also light in color, and he stood there, and she introduced him to the jury, talking about his genius, how people wanted to be around him because he was so charismatic. So he stood there as his defense counsel was describing him and how he came to be, how he grew up here in New York, in Harlem, and then became this cultural icon. They talked about money and how the witnesses that you're going to hear from had 30 million and have 30 million reasons to come up here and tell you what took place, that they took this money, that they wanted something from Sean Diddy. They weren't forced. These were adult women, strong women, capable women, and they made a personal choice to stay in these relationships. This was not a crime. So that's kind of a gist of what defense counsel was saying in its opening statement. But again, quite a scene outside this New York courthouse. We're going to make our way back inside. You have to get in line to make certain that you get a seat inside the courtroom. You can't bring electronics of any kind inside the courtroom. So there's a line for that as well. But a lot of people, as they were listening to the openings, snickering at times during some of it, in which the defense counsel was talking about the baby oil, talking about how you're going to hear about the baby oil. You're going to hear about intimate details. She said it's going to be uncomfortable at times. And like any relationship, you're going to hear how this relationship also was toxic. So, Julia, that's kind of the latest here. If you have any other thoughts or questions you want to ask me, go ahead.
Oh, Kelly, first of all, can I say you are an amazing professional to be able to stay focused when I'm hearing that supporter there in the background talking about Diddy getting the keys to the city at some point in New York and going on and on. But you are taking us there inside the courtroom, so we are so grateful for that. I do want to ask you about this first witness that the prosecution is going to call. I understand that it has to do with the hotel surveillance video, because we've been wondering, where did this surveillance video come from if Sean Diddy Combs paid someone $100,000 to obtain it for himself?
That's one of the things that was talked about in the openings, Julia. So he had thought that there was maybe just one copy of this video when in fact there wasn't. So we're expected to hear from this witness who was handed a bag full of $100 bills. So he's going to testify about being, quote unquote, blackmailed to hand over this video.
All right, Kelly Craft, thanks so much. We'll let you get back inside of that courthouse. All right, we're hitting the pause button there on that evidence coming out of Massachusetts to turn our attention to
The trial of P. Diddy. Do you think he's going to get off? He's in the fight of his life, facing 15 years to life in prison for being a freak, for running a trafficking operation, for using his power, abusing his power, his influence. Is it all just rhetoric? Is it true? They always find a way to seem to take out the black man. But is P. Diddy really a monster? This is what people say. We've had a lot of the clear people. They've been taken to trial. Epstein, gone. It's amazing. They always find a way for the black man in the end. James Brown once said, you never get out clean. They're going to find something on you. The trial of P. Diddy. Is it the trial of the century? It's going to be a very interesting next 2 months. Cassie in the courtroom, pregnant. They have an 8-minute audio of her trying to extort Puff Daddy. He Diddy, the diddler. No Diddy. But did he really do it? Did Diddy really do it? Is he the monster that everyone says he is? Is it all just a witch hunt from Diageo, the alcohol kingpins? Did P. Diddy get too big for his britches? Some people say it's a conspiracy. It's a witch hunt. Some people say he's tied into certain people and entities that no one knows about. The next 2 months, it's really going to be a telltale. The diddler P. Diddy trial. In Clear News.
Welcome to the Sir Ism Show. The show